Now I'll show you how we defend ourselves with just our hands with blocks and parries. There are only 6 movements. They're very simple. The first principle we want to follow when we're protecting ourselves with our hands, blocking and parrying, is to use only enough movement as it takes to avoid the punch and no more. We never want to overcompensate to move a hand out of the way, because that will leave us out of position and leave us open for his follow-up punch. So if Paul throws a nice slow jab, you'll see me wait until the punch comes close to the target, which is my face, and then I will parry it only enough to make him miss. I want to stay within my balanced pocket between my feet. Again with the jab, Paul. Only enough. I never want to reach or over parry. If he throws it and I go too fast, then he can hook after, left hook, and I'm too close. If he throws a jab and I over parry, then again I've taken my hand away from my face unnecessarily, and he can hook again with the left hook to my face. So when he throws the jab, I want to move it just enough, and I'm in my balanced pocket so I can counterpunch. What will make me a dangerous counterpuncher is every time I use a defensive move against him, I stay close within my posture and I try not to let him violate my balance. I try to stay within my balanced pocket so I can counterpunch with maximum power. Balance and coordination gives me leverage and I have power. If his punches make me move out of my balanced pocket, or if I reach too far, I'm going to be exposed. So again with the jab. The most dangerous time for him is when he throws a punch. He becomes exposed. Now the next hand block that I'm going to use is actually just a palm block. It's very simple. Throw the jab. I can just put my hand in front of me. This is what a lot of beginner boxers do because it's very simple. I have to time a parry, but it makes him more vulnerable because I've come closer to him and I put his jab on the outside. The block makes him less vulnerable, but it's easier for a boxer to do. But it's harder for me to counter. But it's very easy to do because I can see it traveling. I can just put this in his way. Now, what happens when you face a good boxer is he's going to double and triple up with the jab. I'm going to show you this early on, even though these are just basic components. If he throws 2 jabs, I may be able to get the first one, but I'll probably never get the second one with a parry system. Throw 2 jabs. See how the second jab would have came right over the top? Because I couldn't get my hand back fast enough. So what we do with a double jab is I'm going to parry the first one, block the second. That's simple, real slow. Parry, block. If he is the type of guy who's going to throw a triple jab, I'll probably not be able to catch it with the parry. I'm going to duck. So it's parry, block, duck. And that's how we deal with multiple jabs. That's what a good boxer should be doing, is doubling and tripling up with his jabs. Now let's take a look at the jab to the body. If Paul does a clean level change jab to the body, again, minimal movement. All I want to do is just pitch my elbow in, and I just want to minimize that. I don't really care too much if he hits me with a jab to the body. His jab should always be light to the face. It should be heavy to my body. If he throws a light jab to my body, after a couple times, if I realize that, I'm not going to care about a light jab to the body, and I'm going to ham him over the top of the cross. So the jab is light to the face, but he should be throwing heavy to my body to make me move and defend myself. Heavy. If he's not heavy, then I'm not blocking. If he throws a light, I'm just going to counter because he's not going to be able to hurt me with it. So why do I care? Now let's take a look at the blocking of the left hook. I'm already in position. I can probably block 30–35% of all the punches just by having good posture. To be able to move into a position to block a punch is very simple. I'm almost there. So if he throws a left hook to my ear, all I'm doing is just ensuring that I'm completely covered. And I'm taking the impact. I'm not worried about it. By the way, the best counter for a left hook is a left hook. So he throws it, and all I do is prepare for the impact. Hand is up. Hand is over my temple. And I take the impact. If I can just catch any of that hook, I'm protected. Now let's take a look at the right cross. If he throws the right cross, all I'm going to do is a boxer's half shell. Again, I'm halfway there. So if he throws it, all I'm doing is just put my hand up in the way, like I'm trying to put a wristwatch in the way. Like I'm trying to let him break my wristwatch. So he throws it, and all I'm doing is catching. So if you take a look at what we're doing here, right here at this angle, I'm basically watching Paul with my right eye. I don't care if I cover my left eye, but I can still see him. So he throws the cross, and I'm ready to counter. Throw it. When he throws the right cross to my body, I'm just pitching. And I'm pitching. Try to stay in my balance pocket. Again, it's just a pitch. Minimal movement with all these blocks. To the body. Hook to the body. I'm just catching. Throw it again. If he throws a hook to the body, I want a level change and catch. Or catch and jam. Catch and jam. Catch and jam. His power is maximized where he's designed it to land. If I jam it, I've minimized the power of his hook and I've closed the gap and I've countered the punch. The right uppercut or left hook is going to be blocked the exact same way on both sides. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch my elbow in and I'm going to take the impact. He's trying to take my jaw off. Right uppercut. And again. Again, I'm looking at my target. I'm staying in my balance pocket and I'm just catching. That's simple. Those are your basic hand blocks and parries. Okay, now let's take a look at the uppercut. I'm just going to demonstrate the right uppercut for this portion of the video only. But the left uppercut is doing the exact same way. I'm going to generate my power. Again, the first movement is from my knee. This is what starts a lift of my heel. The lift of my heel accelerates my hip. My elbow, imagine it's almost attached to my hip, and it's being accelerated from the heel into my hip, into my elbow, into my hand, into the pad. And the target is struck. I want to keep my right hand on my chin for as long as I can before I throw the punch, while I'm throwing the punch, and immediately when I finish the punch, I want the hand back for protection. So it's very short. It's only away from my face for a very short amount of time. And this is the uppercut. So it's a lift. That's the uppercut for power. So again, it's the knee, accelerates the heel, it rotates over, pushing in the same direction as my cross, drops my hip, my shoulder forward, and it's dropped. That's the proper way to throw a heavy right cross.